Hey guys, what's up? I am back for another video, even though it's been probably almost a year now since I made my last video. And as usual, I'm like I was promising that I'm going to film more videos and stuff, but 2023 really threw me for a loop. My 2024 New Year's resolution is to hopefully film more videos for you guys and have other content as well. Here I'm going to talk about my top albums of 2023. I usually have a larger list of top albums for the year, but this year for music was weird. I didn't seek out a bunch of new releases that came out this year, and I'm sure there's things that I definitely missed that you guys can let me know in the comments below. These are just kind of what my jams were listening to. I'm going to do a top 5 albums for this year, but I have to bring up some honorable mentions just because they almost made it to the list to add in for the top, but weren't quite there. Give a shout out to Fall Out Boy's So Much for Stardust. I think Fall Out Boy kind of went back to their roots a little bit more on that album with the producer they had for Folie à Deux. It definitely gives some of those theatrical vibes like that record did, and kind of more of a grandiose feel of Fall Out Boy. So I really enjoyed overall that record. Just didn't make it in the top for me. Another honorable mention I have is Pierce the Veil's The Jaws of Life record. Really, really solid release from Pierce the Veil. Past the Nirvana, the first single off the record, is literally one of my favorite Pierce the Veil songs and was probably one of my favorite songs of last year. I listened to it so much and really appreciated kind of the more 90s and grunge alternative sound that Pierce the Veil was going for on this record, but overall there was a few songs that fell really flat to me. Another one to shout out is my boys in The Maine. They came out with their self-titled album. A really solid release. I hadn't enjoyed a Maine record kind of in most of its entirety for a long time, and I feel like with this particular record they kind of went back to more strong songwriting. There's some really cool thoughtful instrumentation as well, but also adding some more synths in it as well, and kind of just the band trying some new things on the record. Overall, I thought it was solid, minus just a few other tracks I didn't care for. But the singles and the songs that I do love off that album are absolutely A+. Also gotta give a huge shout out to Miley Cyrus's album that came out, Endless Summer Vacation. Literally, I feel like that record came out during the perfect time because it was around summer. But when that album came out, I was listening to it for a good entirety of the summer. It's just a perfect summer album, or if you just want to get into the vibes of summer, it really has that feel-good vibe to it. But overall, the record's not just sunshine. She definitely has some other sonic inspirations instrumentally for the record, but I think it's one of her strongest, and it really just showcases Miley becoming an even more stronger vocalist. Another really quick honorable mention, which isn't technically an actual album, full-length album, it's a covers album, but Dolly Parton's Rockstar covers album, where she does favorite rock songs with some of the artists that were a part of or helped create or write those songs. I will get into my top 5 albums of 2023. Number 5, Queen of the Stone Age Records, In Times New Roman. They give us an album that feels very true to the band and their overall sound. I really love the distorted, kind of dirty guitar tones that are throughout this record, but love the guitar tone. I think it adds a really dark mood to the album. The album feels overall pretty dark, but also kind of has a hopeful undertone to it as well. Overall, there's a really great strong groove throughout the album. Josh Homme has a great balance of aggression but also restraint on this album when needed as far as his vocals go. Some of the songs have little additions of strings and kind of elevating and also blending really well with the album. My personal favorite songs on the album are probably What the People Say, Carnivore, if I'm saying that wrong, sorry. Straight Jacket Fitting, Motion Sickness, and Made to Parade. Number 4 on my list is Sufjan Stevens' record Javelin. Really love Sufjan Stevens, always loved his style of writing, and he's just been kind of an overall inspiration to me, and I feel like other people within the LGBT community that are also spiritual. This record, again, it's no different. Sufjan always touches on religious elements and symbolism, not even just within Christianity, but other types of religions as well. And he's definitely been through a lot within the past couple of years. He's had a medical condition that he's been dealing with now for a while, as well as his partner, his most recent partner, passed away during 2023, I believe, which is also really sad. And so a lot of inspiration went into this record from his partner's passing. This album definitely has more of a somber ambient tone, definitely kind of inspired by the Carrie and Lowell album, but I would say it's not as bare boned as that record is. That record feels a little bit more hollow. This one feels a little bit more fuller with life, with different multi-instruments in there like bells, horns, and woodwinds, kind of bringing also back elements from Sufjan's older records like Illinois. This album really does focus on personal hardships and also just loss in life. He really focuses kind of on just loss, I think, overall on this record. And as usual, the harmonies and the backing group of vocals that Sufjan has on his records always really strong and elevates the songs as well. He really put his heart into this record, and you can definitely feel that. And I was kind of late on listening to this record. I didn't even know he really came out with a new record until like December of 2023. But once I started listening to it, I was really hooked on these songs, and ode to his partner who recently passed as well. My favorite songs on this record are Everything That Rises, Goodbye Evergreen, Shit Talk, and Genuflecting Ghost. I feel like I'm saying that wrong, but again, you can tell me in the comments. Number 3 on my list is boygenius's debut full-length album, The Record. This full-length album really does a great job showcasing even more talent from the trio of Julian Baker, Phoebe Bridgers, and Lucy Dacus. Their vocal harmonies have definitely gotten stronger, and I think they've utilized their voices in other clever ways throughout this album. I mean, just right off the get-go, you get an a cappella song with the 3 of them, and it's just so beautiful, and it's a really great transition into $20 as well. I also feel like the album definitely plays with similar lyrical themes like the EP did. There's a lot of symbolism of different types of literature, as well as different undertones of religion, and they even call back in some lyrics and inspiration from one of their other songs off the EP, Me and My Dog, with Letter to an Old Poet. But it's just great. It really does overall kind of have the sounds of their previous EP, but definitely feels more fleshed out. I also feel like they really go a little bit harder on the instrumental breakdowns and kind of more heavier guitars and instrumentation. Satanist and $20, like those songs having some really jammy guitars in them. My favorite songs on this album are $20, Not Strong Enough, Satanist, and Anti-Curse. Number 2 on my list, which I'm sure a lot of people would be surprised that this isn't number 1, but it's at number 2, but it's still amazing, and it was really hard not to put it at number 1. But my number 2 is Paramore's album, This Is Why. Definitely one of my most anticipated albums that came out. I was really excited for it to come out right at the start of 2023, and I think it really kind of helped me through 2023 just with all the different feelings that are touched on this record. They definitely have more of a post-punk inspiration, kind of similar to bands like Block Party, kind of with the overall rhythms and tones and just the way the guitar hooks flow. And some songs on this record sonically even, I would say, call back to older Paramore records, specifically kind of like Brand New Eyes. You have like really punchy songs that are also aggressive in nature, like The News, as well as You First and Figure Eight. And lyrically, this album overall feels like it touches on rolling through the punches of day-to-day life. And then there's just some personal things within the band too that are also touched on. And overall, this is a really strong record by Paramore. I definitely think it's, again, one of their best. Paramore, to me, hasn't really ever come out with a bad record, but the only tiny itty-bitty gripe I have just with the record as a whole is the song specifically Liar. Great song. But overall, the tone of that song feels like it's more of like a Hayley Williams solo song that kind of just got put into This Is Why, and it just feels a little out of place kind of with the rest of the record. Overall, it's really hard to pick favorite songs on this because the majority of the album really is my favorite songs, but if I had to pick, it would be Thick Skull, You First, Figure Eight, Running Out of Time, Crave, and The News. My number one pick, which may surprise you guys, may not. I haven't really touched on this group, I think, ever on my channel, or if I have, it's been a long time, but always have been fans of these two ladies, and this is Aly and AJ with their record that came out with Love From. I've always been a huge Aly and AJ fan ever since the Disney Channel days, and I always thought as far as like Disney Channel music or Disney Star music, Aly and AJ really stood out from the pack and really had strong voices as two sisters with their harmonies together. And this record's no different. It came out very quickly soon after A Touch from the Beat. And I really love the direction this album takes. It definitely has an Americana, indie pop, folk sound. There's even some inspiration of country on this album, and I think Aly and AJ just do that so nicely. Their harmonies together, as always, are absolutely beautiful, and kind of just their trade-off between vocal parts are amazing. And overall, the lyricism on this record really feels like it's a love letter to one really special person. I want to say maybe it's their partners, or maybe it's a partner in specific from one of the two sisters. Not too sure, but this album really does focus on love and missing someone and like longing for that person, and also just kind of like reminiscing, but also trying to have fun and let themselves like enjoy life as well. I feel like on this record, this is the most passion and heart they've really put into it. I feel like you can just feel it from the way the album is sonically and how it flows, the writing, just the way they're singing it. It just feels like this is Aly and AJ at their absolute best, especially where they are in their life. So some of the melodies on this record also feel like a callback almost to the really early Aly and AJ days. It's kind of similar to their debut record, but I loved this record. I literally could not stop listening to it when it came out. They can only get better from here. My favorite songs on this record are Sunchoke, Way of Nature, Way of Grace, Tear the Night Up, With Love From, and Baby Lay Your Head Down. Let me know down below if you liked this video, if you enjoyed it. Down below what your guys' favorite top albums were of 2023. Definitely think there was a lot of great music out there. A lot of bad music too, but I'm really hopeful for 2024. Sorry, let me take a sip out of my barbecue. It's nice. Anyways, I really appreciate you guys. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe to see more, I'm really going to do my absolute best to put more content out on this channel, more music related stuff. I'd love to do that, and I definitely am going to plan to do that in the future, kind of now that I feel like I'm at a more stable place in my life now compared to last year. Let me know down below what your top albums of 2023 were. Did we kind of have a similar list? Did you agree with mine? It's all good. Thank you guys, and as always, stay brutal. Stay tuned for more videos, and see you guys later.